Hi, my name is Mike Theiss. I teach my face-to-face classes at the University of Wisconsin Marathon campus, and I also teach for the University of Wisconsin online campus. I will be working with you in an application called Access. We're going to be working with Microsoft Access again, go into a little bit more depth, and I am double clicking on my Access icon there, and I have a demo for online, one of the files that I've been using. Okay, and I can find everything right over here on the left hand side. I did a single left mouse click to open up that database, and I'm seeing the tables area right now here in the navigational pane, and I'm going to update that a little bit and go to all the objects. I've got tables, queries, and reports. Now the objects that we're working with, like I've mentioned previously, are tables, queries, reports, and forms. Each one of these objects, okay, has a different way that it's used in Access. Tables, queries, and reports are all there because in this database they actually exist. The tables contain rows, the rows of data. Let me open one up here again. Here it comes, okay, in a specific view. This is the data sheet view here, and it is much longer than what we just see here in our presentation. But the key thing is there are rows, okay? I'm moving my cursor in the first row. The rows are the individual records, each one being unique. Inside the record we have the field names. I'm moving my cursor over the field names right now, and I'll be going in a little more detail in how to create those in a little bit. The field names contain similar data. A field that is called last name, I'm expecting it to have a collection of human beings' last names. If I have a field and it says title, like this field, I expect to see the titles that are in existence within that organizational chart, and this is where I expect to see them. If I have a field for birthdays, I expect to see dates, and that's very important. Okay, some fields may have information. Some fields, like where I am right now, let me scroll over there a little bit to make sure everybody sees it, are empty. Every field does not have to be filled out. Okay, it can be empty. But there can be no such thing as an empty row. The empty row, the bad one here in the data sheet, the bottom one here in the data sheet view, is the row where the next record is going to show up. And once I scrolled over here, it actually has the word new there. So I have tables. Tables contain all the information that my database is collecting. Many tables. For example, we saw the one here. Let me open. This has what? 8 different tables. Ways of organizing data, and then in a relational database we will be putting together electronic ties. We'll be creating relationships between the tables so we can find the information we need. Queries. Okay, there's a query I just opened up here for revenue. Let me do a double click here. I have a query. It's looking for a last name, a first name, a category. The data, the fields that exist in this database, I can use them one at a time. I can, as long as the tables are tied together and have a relationship, I can take fields from multiple different tables and put them together and see some data, find some information. We go over here and take a look at forms. I have no form in this specific database. A form is used to maintain a table. Okay, a form is used to maintain a table or edit a record in a table. I can add records, I can edit records. I am maintaining a table. I can use forms to do that. And the last one, the reports. Okay, there is a report here, and I kind of talked about it a little earlier. And there will be no data on this form because we haven't collected any information, but I've taken the fields, last name, first name, I've laid them out in a word processing document. Okay, might even have some queries doing the math, and I will have all kinds of information selected. As you work with these objects, I'm going to close all of them to clean up the screen here a little bit. As you work with these objects, you will find that it's very important that you know the terminology. You're learning the language of databases. You're learning the language, a really basic programming, some of the basic programming tools. This isn't as simple as word processing or doing the math in Excel. Relational databases are quite sophisticated. You learn, some of us learn by reading, some of us learn by doing. These entities, these objects, you have to understand at least basically how they work, how to create them, how to edit or maintain them. I'm going to take and I'm going to go to my File tab, and I'm going to tell it that I want to close the database. And when I close the database, everything is saved. Okay, it's all there waiting for me, and I thank you very much, and I'll be doing those to go into a little more depth as we go along here. Thank you again.